Really?
We got recording. I like to do it like this so we get caught in the middle of stuff. So, John, tonight it's your ball. Before we start, everybody, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. Go check us out. We're going to try and get on Spotify soon for the audio. And
on the Googly Tube.
Show us some love. A U-book. It's called U-book.
U-book and
right,
Googly
exactly.
FaceTube.
Yeah. We haven't been banned yet because we don't have that many subscribers.
I think we need to be more offensive. So, John, tell us about the ball we're playing with tonight.
All right, so tonight I thought we would start off. We kind of got started off camera, but I was thinking originally that we could talk about our favorite heroines from the pre-millennial pop culture. I know we like talking about the 80s and 90s a lot, and there's some great examples. I just rewatched the Schwarzenegger classic Red Sonja, which, by the way, he wasn't actually in. Dino De Laurentiis re-edited the film to include him as the main character.
Only 4 minutes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They stretched that out. It's the miracle of editing. But I know you guys are really big pop culture buffs, so let's kick it off that way. Zeus, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Oh, wait a minute. What can you? Because you said take out the 80s and the 90s. So what's the qualification?
From the 80s and 90s or before? Favorite heroines
before
pre-millennial pop culture. So before
the year 2000.
Yeah.
Favorite heroines, not heroine, but
not the kind you put in your arm. The kind you
What's your favorite heroine?
Funny that you mentioned heroine and heroines, because I would say that my go-to female heroine from the 90s has got to be Miss Uma Thurman of Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction fame.
No, that was 2003.
What?
No.
That was 2000. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
From Kill Bill.
I just looked it up.
I just said of that fame, but Pulp Fiction was her
Pulp
first.
Fiction is the movie you're talking.
And that's why I said heroine because
because the heart restart scene is a classic for sure.
Which is not how it happens at all, but anyway.
But it's so dramatic.
Wait a minute. So she's a Gen X heroine because she snorted heroin?
Evidently, Zeus is going with the literal meaning.
You know what? He's right. She's not a heroine in that film.
What a heroine, like someone that's a hero or just a cool character?
A female hero.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, she was part of the Fab Five or whatever they called it.
Right. No. No, it was Fox Force 5.
Fox Force 5.
Yeah, and she was the pyro.
I guess if we go before that, you got to go with Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that was one of mine.
She's a strong
Clarice Starling.
That is true. It takes major guts to walk into a place like that.
You know what? I'm gonna pull that one back, and I'm gonna you guys. When are you
gonna give us?
If you like,
Zeus.
I'm gonna go Linda Hamilton in Terminator.
Terminator.
Yeah, that's another one of mine.
How about Linda Carter? Linda Carter in the original Wonder Woman show.
That's yours?
Oh, yeah.
That's yours.
Who is the best Wonder Woman, by the way?
I agree.
Not the hottest, though.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she was. No.
Linda I don't know, man.
Smoking.
Linda Carter, man. Done.
I'm going Gal Gadot all day long.
All right, I got one that goes back to Mike's. I got to go with the first one I really remember because it was before I read comic books. The one I remember watching on TV every week was the Bionic Woman.
Nice.
Lindsay Wagner was the first one I remember.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I got to go with that because I think when I was a kid, either it wasn't on TV anymore or because I heard of the $6 Million Man and I remember the opening sequence of it, but it wasn't on TV a lot that I watched. What the Bionic Woman was, because it was the spinoff.
Right.
And I was born in 71, so I'd have to look at the dates. But Lindsay Wagner, I had a crush on, and I thought she was a badass. She was sort of like worked for the government. And I just remember, like, there weren't a lot of female hero TV shows back then. I mean, you had Charlie's Angels, if anybody's got that on the list. But other than them, I don't remember a whole lot. I really don't.
My question is, why did her ears sound the same as her arm?
Right.
Just asking.
There were, I mean, most of the female leads were, something to be rescued or came in with that crucial piece of evidence while they were getting trapped by the bad guy, and then the bait and switch, honey trap kind of thing.
Or they were like more of a Girl Friday, more like a
Agent 99.
Katharine Hepburn and Rooster Cogburn. Like, she doesn't do anything heroic. She just makes him feel guilty so that he's heroic.
Yeah, wait a minute. Which one did Mike just mention? I couldn't hear.
Agent 99 from Get Smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
Although she was the smart one.
Wait a minute. Now I got another one which is more obscure, but I'm gonna pass right now.
Wait, hold on. Is it what's her name from the Avengers? Not the comic books, but the British TV show.
Mrs. Peel?
Yeah, Emma Peel.
Emma Peel, man, that's another one I forgot about. That wasn't the one.
Redefined the cat suit. Come on.
Oh, she really did. She really did. She actually aged pretty well too.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, she went on to all kinds of shows and movies after that. Hosting.
She was.
Who is the actress?
Okay.
I know it. Wait, no, I know it.
I know, but I've sat here long enough trying to remember.
I didn't watch the.
I know Uma Thurman played her in the remake with Tim Roth. I think it was Tim Roth.
Yeah.
John, was it Brig? Or was it Riggs or Brig?
Yes, Rigg. Diana Rigg.
Diana Rigg.
I didn't even get to it on the IMDb. But yeah, Diana Rigg.
Yeah. The cat suit.
You right? Hard to miss that.
Gotta like a cat suit. Julie Newmar, baby. Julie Newmar.
She was a bad guy.
So what? She wore the hell out of a cat suit.
Pretty sure Barbarella had a cat suit at some point.
Oh, John, you stole my thunder, man.
I knew I was going to get you eventually.
Yeah, you got it. Barbarella, that's one of the sexiest heroes ever.
Yeah,
well,
say what you will about Jane Fonda. She was hot.
Right?
No, that was Jane Fonda, man.
Her characters are great. The person kind of.
So is this the sexiest heroine or the best heroine? Because I think
sorry, Mike.
We've kind of taken a
your favorite. We've kind of drifted off into one subcategory.
Our favorites might be the sexiest. At the same time.
In all fairness, at the time period that we're talking in our lives, sexiest was best.
Yeah, not Lindsay Wagner. She wasn't walking around in cat suits.
But she was hot.
Yes, she was hot.
Yeah. All right, Mikey, whose was yours again, Mike?
Well, I mentioned Agent 99, and who was the first one? I mean, right now I was thinking Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote.
He's hot too.
No.
But no B. Arthur.
No.
Here's
I have a crush on her.
No, you know what?
Still Getty, baby.
Hey, Mike, in your defense, Mike, I was thinking of her too.
Yeah, man. She's a hero. I mean, she carried the whole show.
See, Jack, I thought you for sure would go for Jamie Lee Curtis because
I was going to say
the original Halloween.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was thinking that too. I wanted to leave it out there for somebody else.
No, Jamie Lee got some licks in, but Donald Pleasance was the guy.
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis.
Jeez, nice pull.
Okay, this one, I can't believe no one's mentioned this one. Ripley.
Oh, come on. Sigourney Weaver? Dude,
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver on any movie.
In the 90s, yeah.
Sigourney Weaver on any movie.
Yeah. Big time.
Even Working Girl.
No, she was the bitchy.
I'm sorry, I blocked that movie out.
No, she was the bitchy boss.
Right.
Yeah. She wasn't.
But
a
that
hero.
showed she had power and
That's
spunk.
right.
Yeah.
She was a woman making it in a man's world.
Grr.
Sigourney Weaver was something. I don't know
Tommy?
who's. What about Tom?
Yeah, I didn't know if John was John calling on us or we're just free style.
No,
Were we supposed to prepare for this? 'Cause I'm just winging it.
Yeah, I'm winging it too.
I've got how about you guys took most of mine, Ripley, Clarice, and Sarah Connor. How about Dana Scully from
Nice.
X-Files?
Oh yeah.
Nice one.
Nice pull.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very good. Yes.
That's a good
I
one.
agree wholeheartedly.
So I've got a steering thing here. We were talking about how we got sidelined into sexiest heroines, right? So Zeus, you made the comment that in this age group, those two things were pretty much synonymous. There's been a lot of cool research being done with grave analyzing and so forth, showing that in ancient cultures, what we perceived as these, hardcore warrior groups actually were much more integrated, and that many of the graves that were highest, in their order or most decorated, actually turned out to belong to women, not short men, as was previously thought. This last week, there was an article that I saw about a grave that they, after a few thousand years, it's so degraded, they have to do DNA analysis, and the technology's been evolving. But they finally figured out the gender of this Scythian warrior that they had unearthed, and they were, a hoard of weapons and treasure and so forth. It turned out to be a 13-year-old girl. And it's not the first time that's happened. In fact, the Scythians were one of the groups that I based the heroes in my book off of. But it's happened in Viking cultures and all over Northern Europe into what's now Russia and the Caucasus and so forth. So given that in actual warrior-dominated societies back in the day, you had these women warriors who competed on the same level as the men, who obviously were as well respected, right?
I mean, Helen of Troy, she's the driving force behind. They didn't have to actually be they could be the catalyst and not actually be active in said rebellions or wars or.
Right. But we do have plenty of evidence that we had these female archetypes in real life, not just in stories and legends and myths, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think happened to drive us towards what we experienced as young men, seeing heroes who are women also equate to sexy?
They were just attracted to strong women.
Right. But if that was the case, then everybody would have picked Ms. Wagner, right? The Bionic
Well,
Woman.
I've got more on my list that are not so sexy.
Well, I like Dana Scully.
Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, Lucy from I Love Lucy,
Yeah.
Velma from Scooby-Doo, Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that are not your typical sexy characters.
I'm gonna argue only on Dorothy. Dorothy was kind of her prettiness kind of surpassed the.
I think she was like 15, so watch out.
Stood up to the lion.
Not when she did the
He fought the guy with the axe.
The Tin Man.
I said Dorothy.
I was just saying
Sorry.
she was obviously like a 30-year-old woman where she was just pretty at the time. Again, we're going with at the time. Now it's a little creepy to look back at her and think, girl. Only a little creepy though. We all know that she wasn't. Anyway, let's get away from me because I'm starting to bug myself out.
No, I'm enjoying this. This is my favorite part of the podcast so far. Please continue.
No. I want to stop. Please help me. Save me. Get me out of this.
Well, just to switch media, I remember when I started reading comic books in the 80s, the early 80s. I loved mostly the male-dominated heroes. You know, you had Iron Man, the Hulk, you had Thor, you had Wolverine, Spider-Man. Like my big four were guy characters. And so I wasn't like going out of my way to read Wonder Woman really at all. It would depend on the artist. It would be like, was it John Byrne? Was it this? And then, and as far as the link between sexy and heroines, I think we grew up in a pretty sexist, objectifying TV medium. And so, and I'd say even today, you know, Harley Quinn is played by Margot Robbie, who's gorgeous. Like we look at, I think we admire beauty. And so the actors and the actresses who get the big roles are really good looking people.
Right.
And then the ones that are not are character actors.
Exactly.
And they, you know, they're on there because they can act.
They can act. Exactly.
They don't get the lead roles. They're not Brad Pitt.
That may go for men as well a lot of the times.
Well, that's
You
what
know,
I'm
Gene
saying.
Hackman
But
is not usually the
think that
star. He's
sexiness
usually the
part-
Well,
star.
no, but Tom, back in the day, you could be a mediocre looking actor and still just go by the virtue of your talent.
Yeah, look at Steve Buscemi.
He was never the star of the movie. though.
Are you kidding?
No, he's
Yeah,
not. He's a
no.
character.
Boardwalk Empire is all him.
No, Steve Buscemi's a character act.
Humphrey
Yeah,
Bogart.
He's a supporting.
Yeah. No, you had Humphrey
Bogart,
Bogart.
maybe.
Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino was short and not, you know, considered a leading man
How
look.
about Harvey Keitel?
Yeah, but again,
Yeah, I don't think he's.
what
a lead.
major? What
He was
major?
no Cary Grant.
What? Yeah, Cary Grant was one. Rock Hudson was another.
Exactly.
Funny you mentioned those two. in a row.
But going into like the comic books, right?
Right.
Not the movie adaptations, but just sitting there as a kid reading comics. Like the heroines were just gorgeous.
Rogue.
I think that's because
Rogue
of the
and
audience.
Storm.
Well,
You're
right.
selling the comic books to young boys.
Right,
That's
but-
that's the
right.
target audience.
But Tom,
They want to see themselves as strong adult men. And then
right?
they're attracted to the beautiful women. That's going to sell more.
No,
comics,
Tom.
so that's
Tom, I totally know that, but like I said, I wasn't going out of my way to read because they were pushing the feminism in the 70s. So there were a lot of female, like She-Hulk.
I'd say
shit
the strongest arguments for this are Rogue and Storm in like the
all right, see,
mid-90s.
this is what I've been trying to get out of my mouth, is that once I started reading the X-Men,
Yeah.
the female characters in the X-Men, I didn't look at as sex objects or whatever. Like I looked
I
at
don't know. Rogue was hot.
I looked at the character
Storm.
development
Right.
in Chris Claremont's writing.
Yeah, they were brilliantly done.
And before I got the X-Men, which was because of Wolverine, because of Secret Wars, I was like, who are these, like Jean Grey?
Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
And I like the stories and I like the characters. Like Storm and Rogue were very conflicted, dark characters, and they were great heroes to me.
How about the brilliance of Rogue, for instance? Rogue she had a power that she was one of the most powerful people on earth. People were thankful and gracious and all these things, and she couldn't touch somebody. She
was crippled by it. She was crippled by it.
Yeah. And Storm, and then remember when she took Storm's powers and it messed with her, and because she had control over it, and then she got hit. She did, and then she got hit with the power.
Miss Marvel.
Neutralizer or whatever.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel made her schizophrenic.
Yep.
But
And
John, is that sexist to have Rogue as a female character instead of a male character?
Right.
Because you're like, okay, the female needs touch, needs love, but why wasn't that?
Yeah, we're
character
more
a male?
visible. They're more.
Exactly.
Tactile.
I was going to touch on that if we got stalled earlier, because a lot of those roles, I mean, you know, for crying out loud, Wonder Woman babysat Dinosaur for what, like half of the the first 80 to 82 or something. Do you remember that?
No.
In the Justice League? Oh my gosh. She used to bake cookies when they would come off a mission. Ridiculous.
Who's
Wow.
the dinosaur?
Yeah, I mean, she really got the circular file when it came to writing for a long time.
Yeah, now she like kills people.
Yeah, well, she's been around long enough for that to have been normal. So
Okay, so it is kind of a time. I mean, did you guys all have Star Wars figures?
yeah,
Like, do you have Princess Leia Star Wars figure?
I did.
Yeah.
Flat as a
Oh.
board.
I'm just saying
But only the Jabba the Hutt playset version.
No, that's not
Here's that
true,
guy's-
John. That's not true. If you're like me, you had the original with the buns.
I did have that one too, and I had the Endor Assault Leia as well.
Yeah. What about the Hoth Leia?
No, but I had a buddy who had her.
Yeah, I had.
And
her.
I had Hoth Han Solo.
Yeah, he was sporting the great green winter coat with
Right,
the fur.
right. Exactly. It was red.
Yeah. No, it was
think-
green. It was green.
the thing that makes a great hero is conflict, right? So if you have a hero, if it's, and I think maybe it's because there were more male writers than women writers, but you have a character like a Princess Leia, and then you have Luke Skywalker. Skywalker has all the conflict, man. He's all like torn apart. Darth Vader's his dad. Leia's just sort of like going about her business. But I mean, great heroes have a lot of internal struggle, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just kind of just thinking like reasons for this, and I think that maybe since most of the writers at a certain time were men, they didn't explore that.
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
Mike, and that's why I loved the X-Men women
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
they wrote.
Claremont did a great job knitting all of that together.
Yeah, he did.
That there were a lot of things I didn't like about him, but the fact that everything was interrelated, the focus on layers of writing, the psychological aspect of it, I thought that was what really made him a shining star at Marvel back then.
Yeah,
Who's that, Claremont?
yeah.
He was brilliant. He was, I believe the end of Claremont's run was turning Magneto into an anti-hero and taking over. Like he's probably the shining star in all of Marvel. I can't think of anybody that had a better effect than him. Maybe Kirkland. Kirkland is doing some amazing stuff like Invincible and Walking
Mhm.
Dead. Invincible, has anybody seen Invincible?
No, but I read the comics back.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like true anti-heroes. Like,
Wait, is that the animated series or whatever now?
yeah, but the
I haven't-
comic is freaking amazing.
I haven't watched it yet.
I actually met him over at San Diego Comic Con back in the day.
And who's the guy that does The Boys? Garth Ennis?
Ennis.
That guy's ridiculous.
Oh, in
He
so
has-
many ways.
He has-
He offered to fight anybody who disagreed with him about scripting. Like
He's
literally,
brilliant.
let's go step into the ring.
Wow.
Have you seen The Boys? The Boys is amazing.
No, The Boys is great.
Well, that's Garth Ennis. He did this series called Cursed or Crossed, which is like this
Mhm.
whole different type of zombie thing. It's like dark on levels you haven't seen. But anyway, neither of them had female antagonists, so except for Michonne.
Well,
But-
also, you're not going Gen X, man. You're going millennial.
No, I know. John was playing along with me because he knew what I was talking about.
I give you a little leeway. The one that I remember him from. Oh wait, no, was that Ennis or Bendis? I can't remember.
What was the title?
The Authority.
Was that like was that the
mid to
one
late
where
90s.
they also had the Kingsman? Because that's Bendis.
No, this was they had
Michael Bendis or something like that.
Yeah, this was like a trans-dimensional ship that happened to inhabit the same space as the Earth.
Yeah,
and it gave them access to any point in the world.
Yeah, we're definitely into the 2000s, but also very good.
I hadn't graduated high school yet when that one came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mike,
that was mid to late 90s.
We've got a guest.
who's that?
Hey, buddy. Wave to all the people in La La
He
Land.
always finds me, no matter where I try to hide in the house.
Yeah, well, he's one of our subscribers.
He has to have an email address.
He actually hits the like button.
Yes.
A valued customer.
Yes.
Probably because he's in the podcast.
That's our target audience. People
Right.
don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we got to have more guests.
He's got bragging rights on the playground, right?
Exactly. Have you heard the Zeus Friends of Zeus podcast?
You don't know what you're missing.
Right.
It's quality
You should
stuff.
tune in Tuesdays.
So how about like would Scarlett O'Hara be a heroine?
I always found
Frankly, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at the very end, she kind of comes around, but it's
Yeah.
a long trail to get there.
Yeah. I like her as a character, just because she's able to survive all of that.
Wait, are we talking Gone with the Wind?
I don't know if win.
Yeah. I'm just trying to go way back, man.
Wow.
That's a good one.
I don't think really anybody in that was likable outside of
Clark Gable.
Hetty, what's her name? Hetty McDaniel. I don't know nothing about Birth of No Babies, Miss Scarlett. What was her name? It was like Hattie McDaniel or something.
That was the actress.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but wait a minute. If you're a guy, you gotta love Clark Gable at the end of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
but
there's the classic line.
what is the classic line?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I think it's actually, isn't it just frankly, I don't give a damn? Isn't that like the urban legend is it's frankly Scarlet, I don't give a damn, but it's actually,
Maybe.
No, yeah, it's frankly my Miss Scarlet. I don't give a damn.
So
Yeah.
can you have like how about female characters that are heroes but not in a traditional male way? Like Linda Hamilton in Terminator, right?
Right.
She is, I mean, that was a phenomenal thing when it happened. We hadn't seen a character like that, but she's the way she deals with things is very masculine, right? With guns,
Yeah.
strength, and
And
like, how about a heroine that is more traditionally feminine and yet heroic? Like, and the reason I thought, it's a animated, it's a fictional character, but Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, like she's super, motherly, right, to the pig, and like very learned and knowing that she's going to die and like trying to,
self-aware.
self-aware and not coming at, she's not like, Rambo, right? She's
yeah, I like that.
she is kind of the hero, right? She teaches him.
Just more on a cerebral level than anything.
Yeah.
I got
That's
a
good
good sleeper, and I think this is pre-2000. Great movie. Samuel L. Jackson, Gina Davis.
Yes.
Called
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so far off from either. Samuel Jackson is a straight up pussy through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not a motherfucker through the whole movie.
Right.
And Gina Davis is world-class badass in that movie.
Yep.
Jason's here, daddy.
I love the bit where are they in the car,
Yep.
right? And
With
you've
the-
got
with
the
jogger.
heavy jogger coming through,
Mhm.
and she just totally nails Samuel Jackson about it.
Mhm.
I thought that was brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the movie history of the movies that Gina Davis made at that point,
Rennie
almost-
Harlan.
almost ran the company into the ground.
Yeah, Rennie Harlan.
They're fantastic movies. I just watched the pirate one that she did in the same. There's like 3 films she got away with.
Yeah,
The-
yeah.
The scene
Great
that
female
stands out in that movie for me is at the beginning when she's like cutting the tomatoes and then she like throws a knife and she's killing all these people. It was very reminiscent of this new movie that just came out, Mr. Nobody or Nobody.
Oh,
Like,
Nobody.
that vibe. But
Yeah.
but that scene where she kills everybody, and then the scene where they've got her on the water wheel.
Yes.
And they keep running her through, and then she comes up the last time with the guns, and
Yes.
she was a straight up action hero in that
Well,
movie.
what
Yeah.
about
Kiss
So
goodnight.
good.
yeah, Long Kiss Goodnight. Good job, Jason. Welcome
Really
to the party.
solid.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, daddy.
Yeah, well, the best,
Hard.
yeah, the best though is where she cuts and dyes the hair, and she offers to sleep with Samuel L. Jackson, and he's such a pussy, like he doesn't even know how to handle it.
It's so
Right.
not a Sam Jackson role. It's so funny. I
was
might have to
great.
go watch that sometime soon.
Talk
Because
about expanding your character diversity, right? He did
Mhm.
such a great job.
That was one
Leveraging-
of his favorite roles he ever played. He was asked that on some late night show, and I think that was one of his top 3
Wow.
for Sam Jackson.
and
That's
that was probably right before, when was that? That was probably like 89, 88, like right before he hit it big
Go
with
up.
Pulp Fiction. Because
Yeah.
after Pulp Fiction, he was Jules.
I think it was after Pulp Fiction.
I think so, because I remember, oh, hey, that's that guy from Coming to America.
Was he in Coming to America?
He's the guy who holds up the burger shop.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting off topic, but the
We
first time I remember seeing him was Jungle Fever, and he stole that movie. He stole the movie.
Wow,
he's
it was
brilliant.
way after Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
It was 96.
That's
Wow.
2 years.
yeah,
All
and
more
then
impressive.
and then a couple of years later, he did Deep Blue Sea, where he got eaten by a motherfucking shark.
That was a great scene.
He's
Mhm.
screaming like a girl too. He was
There's
like the
no
most pathetic
giant
guy.
shark.
Ah!
Yeah, he gets eaten by a shark.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever died in a movie again.
I hope not, because that was horrible. So, Jason, we were talking about female protagonists, like heroes.
Preferably before the 21st century.
Yeah, before 2000.
But we've gone through a lot of them.
Miss Piggy.
Iconic.
As
I
you
guess
can, go ahead.
She was just a playoff Sally Struthers from MASH.
you probably already hit on
Not Sally
Sigourney Weaver.
Struthers.
Lorena Swit.
Lorena Swit, yeah.
Oh, there's a good
Lorena
one.
Swit. What?
The Swit.
Wait, Jason's got one.
Did you guys already go talk about Sigourney Weaver?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was mentioned.
You know,
I was going to say, we were talking about female leads who didn't lose their femininity in their role. And Ripley from the Aliens franchise managed that for me. The first movie, all she's trying to do is survive. And it's not her fault that everybody else keeps dying. But what does she do when her cat is missing, right? Or in the second movie,
don't fuck
why
with
did she go back? Why does she go back into the nuclear furnace where she knows that it's probably going to be death? It's because the kid's missing, right? It's that instinct that we were touching on before.
And there was, in those movies, there was a feminine connection almost between her and the alien. They were both like, there was this offspring kind of. The alien is really just trying to extend its
It's
speed.
doing what any living thing does.
All right.
Right, and
Reproduce.
she's doing the same. She's trying to save Kat, save the little girl. It's a little girl in the second one, right?
Yeah. And actually, in the supercut that you get for Aliens, right, the second one, you find out that Ripley actually had a daughter.
Right.
And that because she was lost at sea, basically, the daughter grew up, got old, and died, had a family and everything. But there was that dimension to Ripley's journey that was totally cut off because Aliens was already super long.
We've glossed over, we've said the name a couple times, but one that managed to maintain her femininity and be a heroine was Jason's for taking this from him, but Leia, Princess Leia. Totally. That meets all the requirements, pre-90s. She was totally hot in the second movie.
Well, wait a minute.
Third movie.
Wait a minute. All of the heroines we've mentioned, probably were very feminine and kept their femininity, maybe with the exception of the one I think Tom brought up, which was Linda Hamilton in T2. She was very man-like in that.
But she was sexy. She was definitely.
All right, she's a good-looking lady because it's a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, but she had it in the first movie, but it was like it had been burnt out of her in the psych ward by the second movie.
Right. Yeah, she was she was a badass. Yeah, and but then again, she had the kid, so there was a maternal thing going on because the Terminator was after the kid,
and that was the motivation. Yeah,
right.
I would think the same thing with Ripley. Ripley definitely had a masculine streak as well. When she's standing there holding like a flamethrower, and she's all like
she could totally been played by a guy.
Yeah, and also she's wearing the cargo like exoskeleton at the end.
She's not wearing a dress,
no,
running around the spaceship.
I love out about Ripley. Ripley. It's almost like it was written for a guy, and then they threw her in because she had no bones about killing somebody.
Yeah, and she wasn't a classic Hollywood beauty even from the first one, from Jones.
Right.
No, they put her in a midriff tank top.
And and a pair of panties at the end.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott wasn't stupid.
No, it's self-stickers. Nobody's that dumb. No, but I do love the line you were talking about, the exosuit. Where she her role is a dock worker essentially, right? A dock worker in space, and she walks up to the master sergeant and is like, "Is there anything I can do?" And he goes, "Is there anything you can do?" And then she takes everybody to task with the loader, right? Which then she uses later on to fight the queen.
Well, also. She takes everybody to task from the beginning of the mission because she's the only one. She's the only one that takes the mission seriously. Like, these are monsters.
Yeah.
And all of the army guys are like, "Oh, it's a bug hunt."
Yep.
Yeah.
It was an interesting. This is just
game over, man. Oh, sorry.
Game over,
it's so sad to hear he died.
Yeah, Bill Paxton, R.I.P.
I got a one-off.
Okay.
And that is the girl that plays a guy in the movie Dragon Slayer. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. I love that movie. I mean, that was
a great movie.
She came out and she was a guy through the first half of the movie. She was so good at it that I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know until it was revealed at the time as a kid.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she's hot. But she was that was a great heroine in a movie, like making all the sacrifices, doing all the right things, and such an unbelievably satisfying movie all around. I still to this day, if I were to pop up on the screen, it holds up on tons of levels. And the funniest thing about that is the hero is Peter McNichol, who's like from Ally McBeal. The guy that runs the law offices.
Oh, that
funny. Was the hero. Squirrely little guy, probably all about 5'5". I love that movie, man.
Is he related to Christy McNichol?
Yes, he's her brother, actually.
Oh,
wow. How about Sandra Bullock from Speed? That's still 90s.
It's still 90s. Yeah, I liked the way that she was treated in the movie as well. Right, she didn't have to be rescued per se. She helped the hero save the day, right?
She was brave. She kept her calm.
And she was part of one of the many reiterations of Keanu Reeves. That guy has had more reinventions of himself as an actor than anybody else.
Yeah.
Like he gets series upon series and crushes it. However, just to get off subject for a second, I saw Bill and Ted Face the Music, and it's fucking abysmal.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I thought it was weird. He wasn't even piano in that. It was like it was just there was something wrong about it. Do you know what I'm talking about? It just wasn't that good.
Well,
Better
it
left
had
alone.
been a
I'm
bit.
not shocked. I'm really not surprised.
I'm not either.
Have you
Well,
seen?
you know, it's
have you seen
Keanu.
the second? Have you seen the second movie recently?
I love the second.
Not recently.
Oh my
You have
god!
sunk in my battleship.
Now the game with death, that was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But the bit with the robots, that was ridiculous.
And the term station, how they were trying to make it a word that we would start using.
That almost killed it for me when I watched it the first time.
I didn't hate the second one. The death was hilarious.
It's true.
They're
Death
playing
was
Twister
great.
with death. What's not funny about that?
Wait, was that Bogus Journey?
Yes.
Yes. I love the Bogus Journey. I like the first two.
Yeah,
Third,
I
this-
get it.
This one.
I got to say, full disclosure, I've never seen any Bill and Ted movie.
Oh my God.
All
Not
right.
one.
So
Not one.
have yourself a couple before you push play.
Oh,
They're
Yeah.
wow.
not bad though. They're definitely you gotta just it is what it is. It's not cerebral.
Absolutely not.
Here's my argument. Until recently, Keanu has really evolved as an actor, but for a long period, my feeling about Keanu Reeves was anything that he did where he could have that dude voice, he was going to do great in.
Yeah, I don't think he's evolved as an actor at all.
Oh, are you kidding? Have you seen My Private Idaho is one of the greatest movies ever done.
I think he's evolved as now he's the coolest guy in Hollywood, like literally the nicest person in Hollywood. And John Wick is a huge franchise for him.
But he's great in it.
I'm sure I've seen the first one and I loved it.
All of them are good.
They all happened within 24 hours, right?
They're all very good movies.
Yeah,
All of them
Or maybe not as much, but
yeah, but I don't think he's a Shakespearean actor by any stretch.
you
What,
haven't
did
seen
you
My
see-
Own
did
Private
you see-
Idaho. Then he's completely a Shakespearean.
Dude, he
Hold on.
stunk up the whole screen in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I agree with that. But
Yes,
if
he
you
did.
haven't
He
seen
ruined Mike. He
My Own
ruined
Private
he
Idaho,
ruined the movie.
He ruined one of Gary Oldman's greatest performances.
Yeah,
That's how bad he was.
And also a pretty good movie by Coppola.
John,
Yeah.
John,
yes,
you're not listening to me. Tell
am.
them My Private Idaho is a spectacular movie.
Zeus, I've seen it. I
I
like
said
it.
it was. It's as good as Brendan Fraser in School Ties. For
Yeah.
people who think that
See,
Brendan
I don't
Fraser
hate that
doesn't have
movie.
one face, that's the movie I suggest they see.
I agree
love
with,
School Ties.
I agree with both of those movies being good movies.
School Ties is ridiculous because look at the cast. You got Chris O'Donnell. Is Ben Affleck in that? I think Ben Affleck's in that. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Don't.
Don't say the F word,
What's that? Who?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser is phenomenal, and I know there's like 6 other actors that came out.
Oh yeah, everybody was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just spewed out Oscar-winning actors. Somehow we got the male actors, but
Yeah.
but,
Because we're sexist.
Well,
no,
I got one thing before we get back on track. So Keanu Reeves actually is technically a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, much ado about nothing.
We're much ado about nothing.
And he's awful in it.
Sucked in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not good.
I'll stand by Private Idaho. He was better than River Phoenix in that, and River Phoenix was ridiculous in that.
Well, a lot of time directors are able to, a really good director can get a really good performance. So that could possibly be just a good directing job rather than Keanu's raw talent.
Also Zeus, there's something to be said for casting.
No, absolutely. And to be honest, I've seen the first Matrix, and I've never been able to make it through any of the others. The others sucked.
They're nowhere near as good.
Because of him.
They're nowhere near as good. I'll give you
It
that.
wasn't because of him. He was what he was supposed to be. He was, yeah, dude, let's go like outside of the Matrix and like kill stuff, and then we'll like come back and like we'll be better.
Kill more stuff.
Yeah.
All you need is like the long hair wig, Zeus, and it's like
If he just talks
That's
like
like
that,
it's
I'm
Keanu.
so Point Break. Come on.
No, but Point Break's probably my favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if you're going to have somebody playing a surfer, you might as well get somebody who has some surfing skills.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's. Have you ever seen the remake of that? It's fucking horrendous.
No, I don't need to.
Point Break.
Yeah.
I stopped.
What's the point?
Like literally, all they did was like, okay, so here's the thing. So now Johnny, what was his name? Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Johnny Utah now has blonde hair, and the Patrick Swayze guy has black hair.
It's
It was
black.
literally they just switched appearances.
Oh, God.
It
That
was-
sounds
oh,
awful.
it makes me angry.
Yeah,
I'll go watch Chud 2 before I watch that.
Chud too.
I haven't even seen Chud 1, but that sounds like a kind of a porno movie. Is that a porno?
How'd you not see Chud 1 with Daniel Stern?
What was it like? Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers or something?
You got it.
Yeah.
Man,
Well done.
I got.
why is that in my brain? Like Jesus.
I have seen Hatchet, and I know the director personally. That movie's good. Have you seen Hatchet?
No.
No.
Nathan Fillion's in it. It's just this weird movie. It's a kind of got a cult following like Ash does, Ash and the Evil Dead.
Oh,
But
yeah.
really well done horror movie. And like I said, if it's got Nathan Fillion, and I'm gonna give it a shot because I'm just a huge Nathan Fillion fan. I'm weird like that.
I'd be remiss just to jump back to Much Ado About Nothing because this is very random, but still one of the most amazing tracking shots in any movie I've ever seen at the very end during the celebration. And the camera, it's like I don't know, 4-minute tracking shot. And then at the end, Branagh has someone must reach down and pick up the Steadicam guy on a helicopter because then like the shot just like goes up into the sky. It's
wow.
amazing. And then the other thing is at the time that came out, this is just a stupid story, but I was working at this, I was projecting at this art house in Roanoke, Virginia. And the people that were in the box office started this list that was on the inside, and they would write down, and it got to have like 50 or 60 things written. And it was all the things that the patrons would ask for when they were asking for tickets to Much Ado About Nothing. It was like something to do with something, much ado about anything. Like, and it was just like a whole page. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Anyway, that was kind of random.
I saw it in the movies, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in, I think, Arlington, Virginia.
Wow.
It was a big hit, man. Branagh was still packing them in back
Yeah,
then.
Branagh with the Shakespeare movies. That was
Mhm.
I can't think of a Branagh movie. I'm like, it's. I can't
Dead Calm?
think of any of them.
No, it was Dead Again.
Dead Again.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. I know he did some stuff I liked. I just
Ronan?
can't. What's that?
He was in Ronan. I don't know if he directed though.
No, he didn't. He
He
didn't.
didn't direct.
He did
No.
one that was like a horror suspense movie that was like really good, but I can't remember what it was called.
Dead Again.
It was probably Dead Again. That was what he made his bones on.
Yeah.
He pops up still every once in a while. You'll see him in stuff
Well,
every once in a while.
Well, he directed Thor.
Wow. Okay.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
But if it's the Dark World, then it doesn't count.
Good, John. What do you got?
All right. So for the last push on the topic, we've ranged a little afield from where we started.
That's what we do.
I know. We talked about, our favorites, why they're our favorites, and the position of why they are our favorites in time as a culture. And then I think, Jack, you mentioned that the heroes who are female nowadays don't fit that bill of the sexy hero, right? That they had back in the 80s and 90s.
There's a few.
There are a few. I mean, obviously Gal Gadot hits a nerve with a couple of people.
Right.
But is that change that we're seeing? Is that a good thing, or is that a lost opportunity? Are we missing out? Is that a cultural foible? Are we giving away? Are we giving away too much? What do you think?
I see. I don't know, because I think as far as the movies go, I think a lot of the movies, even the male-dominated movies, are just regurgitations of this shit that we grew up with, or they're
absolutely.
Some of them are just flat out remakes or reboots, and I think a lot of the writers and directors, frankly, like we grew up with the new wave of the 70s, which was exceptional, and I think some of the new stuff now just isn't that good. And I hate to be the get off my lawn guy that I'm reputed to be on this podcast, but I don't see a whole lot now that I really, because I love the Marvel movies. And I tried to get behind Captain Marvel.
Oh, it stunk.
And I think it's just the weakest Marvel movie. Like I really do think she was just unlikable.
It's the writing isn't that good.
It's the
No,
writing.
I think she's a great character. Brie Larson didn't bring it.
No, I think it's the
Scarlett
writing.
Johansson was phenomenal in her role. She made Black Widow an interesting character. As far as I'm concerned, I never liked Black Widow. She made her interesting.
Yeah, but don't you think the writing and directing had a lot to do with that? Because I've heard the Black Widow movie is a shit sandwich.
Yeah, it
I've
wasn't
heard it's
good.
very good, so I don't know.
No, I've seen it. It was
enjoyed it.
bad.
Really?
I'll be the odd man out. I enjoyed both of them. I was a big Captain Marvel fan back in the day. Back when she wore the '80s style costume, and the big decision to change costumes is kind of where I was going. It falls in with this idea.
What I didn't like about Captain Marvel is
also wait, just to stay with the point John's trying to make. You can also compare Harley Quinn, the character in Suicide Squad 1, as far as being sexualized and feminine, versus Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, where they pretty much dressed her in boys' clothes,
right,
and had her hate men.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. Margot Robbie is a spectacular actress.
Oh, absolutely.
She is hands down, of many of the women that are playing these roles, she's up there with the top actresses that play heroines. And I don't think it's a stretch to call Harley Quinn a heroine. She's an anti-hero, but I mean,
she's the hero of the movies that we're talking about, though.
Yeah. I dig Margot Robbie, and it's not just. I mean, she was phenomenal as
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding. Holy cow, she rocked that.
Well,
she's got a lot of work ahead of her that's going to just be amazing. But
she's tall, and she played Harding. He's like 5 foot nothing, which was amazing.
Well, that's just holding the camera up higher. I mean,
I guess so.
That's not acting. That's camera work.
It's like Sylvester Stallone being, a full-sized adult.
Yep.
Well,
sure.
Also, what about? I'm sorry, Tom. What about Charlize Theron, who's one of the most beautiful women in the world, as the heroine in Mad Max? Talk about masculine.
Oh yeah,
She's amazing.
Absolutely, right.
How about her in Monster? Monster blew me away.
Well, she's not a hero, but yeah.
But you know what? She sort of is in that movie. Like they don't paint her as being as villainous as Warnick was. Eileen Warnick was a piece of shit. She was selfish. She was a narcissist. Yes, a lot of bad things happened to her, but she went down the dark path and she had a choice.
No, Monster.
You liked her. You liked her in that movie.
Well, Monster humanized the character the same way like Netflix had the miniseries about the Unabomber.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
By the end of it,
you're like,
you kind of felt for the guy.
Unabomber seems like a reasonable guy.
Have you read his manifesto? He's not a dumb person.
I have,
Oh,
and yes,
He was definitely not dumb.
No,
pretty
he as far as is he completely batshit crazy? Absolutely, but he could
Yeah, but
also he put bombs together that worked.
not only that, there's a lot of stuff in the manifesto that makes you go,
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of stuff.
But my point being is she was the hero in that movie. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
she was the hero. They don't give Oscars to the character that was a malicious fuck. You know what I mean? That rarely happens.
well, even Tanya Harding is very humanized and sympathetic in that movie.
She went and tried to have somebody's knees broken to win a medal.
Why?
Yeah. Right. So yeah.
That's
I
what
go
they
with,
say is makes for the best villain. Is the more relatable you can make them, the more reasonable you can make the villain.
listen, I will tell you all day long.
Unless you're Joker.
Jason's got a story that he can back up with this. It's one of my favorite Jason stories. Is except for that time that he was with that lady boy. No, one of my favorite anti-heroes is John Barenthal's Punisher.
Yep.
Dude, he is fucking horrifically violent through the whole thing, and you want him to win constantly.
Well, that's like the character.
But he owned it. They've tried to do it a million times, and Barenthal walked in and just made it him.
Nailed it.
But he's violent against people that deserve to be punished.
Right. And who doesn't like a good revenge story?
Let's
So
be honest. He might be going a little overboard.
It's okay.
But Jason,
Back with interest.
he's from Great Falls, and Jason actually saw him walking down a path. And tell him what happened.
Just the middle of the woods. Out on what was that path? The Billy Goat Trail. Just walking along with my wife and a couple of her friends, and then all of a sudden, I'm face to face with the Punisher, and it didn't register. My brain went, I know this guy, and he was actually turned to walk away, and it just went, hey,
Shane,
don't kill me, but yeah,
that's awesome.
He's actually cool. I asked him if he could have I was really cool and low key. He was with his family and his dog, and I didn't want to be some douchey, fanboy, but I was still I gotta, So I just sort of reached out my hand and I got really close and sort of hey man, I don't want to ruin your family time, but kind of get a picture. And he was just sort of nah, it's all right.
He said no.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you ask anything, I'll fucking kill you.
And if you tell anyone on a podcast, your family will die.
They're talking about him as the next Wolverine, which I think is about the best call I could think of. That's a really nice.
Also put him on the short list of people in Marvel who have played more than one character.
Yeah, he's like a classically trained actor, like Juilliard, all that. He's
very impressive CV.
All right,
What's
I'll
that?
be right back.
I said he's got a very impressive CV, and Jack's going to be right back.
What else is he?
Jack's going to the bunker.
Friends. I remember him on Friends one time.
On Friends?
Yeah, he was on Friends one time. Walking Dead. I have this rule when it comes to movies. If your villain is so just,
I'm gonna go talk to Jack real quick. I'll be right back.
if your villain is so terrible that you hate them, if you saw the person walking down the street, you would want to punch him in the face.
Ramsey Bolton,
great actor, and Jeremy Irons has done some just vicious, awful roles.
Oh yeah.
The kid that plays Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
The kid who plays Ramsey Bolton in Games of Thrones.
Yes, him too.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
I hear he's a really nice guy.
I'm sure they are, but that's why they're good actors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are there like
Ledger.
hateable female leads like Kathy Bates in Misery
Mhm.
that you would want to punch if you walked past him?
Oh yeah. Kathy Bates is definitely one of those. Who else though? Who played the mom? No more wire hangers.
That
Oh.
Mommy
is
Dearest?
Joan Crawford. Or
No,
the actress
no.
that they were portraying was
The
Joan Crawford.
actress was Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway playing Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
Right.
Betty
Yeah, she
Davis.
was
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, no, if you want to go, yeah,
Estelle Getty.
if you want to go back in the old stuff, there's a bunch, man. Like
What did
Lauren
Estelle Getty
Bacall.
do? Because all I remember is being that.
I just
wonderful
wanted to
little
punch her
Sophia.
for no reason.
just
I'm
because.
joking.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, you kind of want to strangle Betty Davis too. Great
Yeah, and
movie,
then-
by the way.
What's that? I'm trying to think of who else. There's some really. They've really done some good evil women roles. I'm just.
Yeah.
Right.
Where did we go, John?
I know. Gone down that rabbit hole now. Oh
Well,
boy.
if we're truly empowering them, they can also be heels.
Oh, absolutely. No, you don't always have to be the good guy, right? Oh,
Uh-oh.
Time's up.
time is up, y'all.
Wow, we didn't
Oh,
even get to talk about why I have a picture of an empty playground behind me.
I guess I'll just have to come back.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
guess
John.
the next one we'll do will be based on that.
All right.
Yeah.
So just quick plug for the book.
Go ahead.
99 cents runs out in 2 more weeks. I've evidently pissed off a distributor somehow unwittingly. They won't even tell me why I pissed them off. So we're still waiting on Barnes and Noble to get hard copies. But yeah, we're still good to go on Amazon for both ebooks, 99 cents, and then paperback is still on sale.
So wait a minute, you haven't read the audiobook narration yet?
No, I haven't done the audiobook yet. I'm working on it, Jack, but man, that stuff's surprisingly expensive.
Really?
I know. I bet it is.
Studio time and all this.
I think
I bet
Jack
it is.
should read. Jack, you got a good voice. You
Yeah,
should
Jack.
read the audiobook.
You
I'll
should
read Garrison Island, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, send me a free copy.
Wow, you're cheap.
No, if I'm doing the narration for free, man, come on. I gotta read something.
Why is it expensive? Because you have to book studio time kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, the studio time, and then if I hire somebody else to do the narration, then that's a bunch of cash.
Well,
If I
I'll
do it myself, it's the equipment, and then having the editor go over the voice recordings and all of that jazz.
well, John,
And then index it, and
I volunteer.
I
Just have
appreciate
all
it.
of us
Jack.
do
I'll
it
keep
for
you
you.
in mind. I'll keep you in mind. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll
John.
read a chapter for you.
Perfect. We'll
Yeah.
do round robin on like a series of episodes, like I used to do in the school newspaper. It'll be great.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, be well, John.
Thanks, everybody.
Take
Have a
care,
great
Tom.
night.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
John.
episode, John. Thank you.
So what do you got up, Zeus?
What do you mean?
Do you have
I have
another
put
topic,
no-
or are we done
Put
for the
no
night?
thought into this episode.
Okay, cool. Well, how long were we on? Like an hour?
Just over an hour.
So
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Okay. Well, why do you have an empty playground behind?
Oh, well, because he was going to talk about like, should we be doing more school or more social training? And I was just
Wow.
going to say how like we got empty playgrounds, so social training's kind of out the door,
Empty playgrounds.
Yeah, not here.
social
Yeah.
distancing.
Not
so-
like when we were kids where everybody played at the playground. Now you can go by and there's 2 or 3 kids. I remember when I was a kid, it was like just a ton of kids at the playground.
Yeah, I mean,
There's one there.
that may be local only because like we have a lot of parks in Hoboken and a lot of playgrounds here and in Jersey City, and they're jam packed on a nice day.
Yeah, I got one across the street, and it's usually busy.
I thought you were supposed to be 150 yards away from playground.
Yeah, it's been difficult.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, he looks at them from his window and sings "I Don't Like Mondays."
Tell me why I don't like Monday.
Did you understand John's question about what was the thing about adventure? Because I was going to ask him to explain what he meant by that.
It was, I have it right here, actually.
Because what is an adventure for a child?
I think what he was probably getting at is kind of the thing we've talked about before, where like, you know, when we were kids, it was like you go out when the when the sun comes up and you come back when the lights come on.
Right.
And
That's
it
not
was
an
all
adventure.
adventure. It was all going into the woods and you know, hopefully you weren't, you know, abused in one fashion or another.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey,
He's
Tom.
not going to talk. Who's your favorite character?
Hey,
Oh,
Tom, you,
my favorite character
your
is the one
son-
that doesn't perform for daddy.
Tom, your son is living an adventure right now.
Yeah, staying up till midnight. That's his adventure.
Yeah, no
There you
kidding.
go.
Dodging
Yeah.
spankings like a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, gremlins can't stay up after midnight. It's bad.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, wait, is he a gremlin? Throw water on him, Tom. I want to see
Yeah,
if he's
more ki-
It doesn't
Yeah,
really.
more-
Does Santa know if you're asleep or awake?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. He argues with me a lot. He won't say anything right now, but
Yeah. I
usually
can
he's
see
like,
that.
no, that's not right.
Yeah,
it's just-
he's a little rebellious.
just a tad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, does anybody else, do you guys want to wrap up or?
I think so, because I feel like this guy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think we've been on for a while, boys. Might be time to wrap it up.
Yep. Let me go ahead and.
All right, guys.
Oop. So.
Have a good night.